Hey guys, as you can tell, my attempts to keep these videos short are failing miserably. I apologize for that, but it's a lot of work doing this, and I feel like if I cut anything out, it will be, it won't show the whole story. So thanks for sticking it through and enjoy. Hey guys, are you still with me on this little journey of mine? So if you are, hey, thanks for hanging in there and following along on this project. But yeah, I'm actually kind of liking the way this is turning out. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to go into production on it, but if I don't hit any major roadblocks, I may build one or two and see what happens. So, all right, this is where we left off. We have, for the most part, a pretty smooth looking body for a small, compact tattoo machine. Let me change the visual style here, just to shade it. It takes off the lines, and I gotta say, that's kind of sexy if you ask me. So I'm considering it. Right now, looking at it, my major concern is how I'm going to fasten the front cover onto the machine. Does it need a cover? It may not, really. I mean, it could be an open-faced machine. There's other people out there that have been doing that. What does that look like? Well, it looks like this now. I mean, I could obviously make the front end look a little more appealing and leave it open, but I'm digging this closed look, especially maybe with putting some artwork or something on the front there, maybe serial number or something on the back. Who knows? It's got possibility. So there is that. Thinking about it and looking at it more, I would machine this on the 4th axis, which is a relatively new tool for me in the machining center. I've been aware of them forever, but never really owned one until recently. So trying to think of how I can utilize that with this particular machine here. And I think I would mount from this end. I think, or I would fixture from this end on the tombstone. So I would actually be able to hold 4 of these on the machine tombstone at once, and the tombstone just it revolves. If you could picture a big block with one sticking out each side, a piece of metal sticking out each side, and that rotates this way, and that would allow me to do an awful lot of the machining on, let's see, well, I would be able to machine on the top because you can get the crazy angles. It would be able to machine the RCA housing, the machine cavity, and even the the angular cavity going down towards the tube and the angular cavity coming up towards the RCA. I could get a lot of this done. So thinking about how I would fasten the front is something I'll have rolling in the back of my brain. So, but all in all, it's feasible. So, and I don't know why I really like the way this looks here. I might change the cover to extend down into this U shape here. See the part I'm highlighting here? So if I make the cover seem to be around with this extension, that might look pretty damn cool. So, or leave this little flat here added onto the cover, but it dips down into the base, and then maybe just a single little Allen head screw or something right there, Torx head to hold the cover in place. So, but that's not what I'm going to work on today. I mean, we've got to work on this lower extension here a little bit more, and possibly create a pusher bar or a needle bar that goes down through the center of the center of mass, our fun one that we have tinkered with. And let's see, look from the bottom, center of mass is straight up that tube hole. So that is awesome. Okay, let's see. Let's hide the cover, pusher bar mount, bearing, cam, RCA, and motor. Okay. So this obviously can't be constructed the way it is there. So what I think I decided I wanted to do was kind of quickly create a sketch of this face, projecting that whole entire face there. Why is that? Okay, so we want to get rid of those. Okay. Let's see. Cancel, finish sketch, and it's all right. We weren't in the right place to create that sketch anyway, so we want to be on the motor housing. I want to go all the way back to before I created this cavity. This is kind of, what were these we created in Ornora? Let's get rid of them because they're not showing up anyways. Let's go back before this extrusion. No. Before this extrusion. Nope. Before this extrusion. Okay. Let's simply create a sketch here on this plane, which is projection of that face. And that's it. Finish sketch. Done. That's that. Let's find it real quick because, again, in my efforts to explain what I'm doing, I have not done well at naming my my sketches. So front motor housing wall. All right. I'll go back and figure those out later. Okay, so let's get everything back in there the way it is. And what I want to do is go back to, I think, this one. Let's go back to this extrusion. And let's see. Sketch 12. Let's turn that on. No. That's that extrusion. That's sketch 12. Okay, that was the back of that one. Oh, Mark. There we go. This is what we want. This is, we'll call this lower cone. Why not? That works for now. Like, that's the one I'm eventually going to be looking for here. So let's quickly slide down, and I just created it. Why don't I see it? Lower cone. All right, so lower cone. So this is the revolve feature, and we're just going to do that as a solid. Okay. What is that then? Okay, actually, you know what? That's not needed because we did that as a solid. And I want to say that's not needed because it was a solid also. Um, those were the parts where we created that cone going up the back, and because it was hollow, we cut the back of the housing cavity off. We had that hole we had to patch in. I'm not sure if you remember that. But that's not needed now because of the fact that we didn't create a hollow cone. We created a solid mass going down. Okay, so where are these coming from? Let's turn that off. Where's that? Okay, that's raising this up. So quite often you have to go back because it definitely gets a little funky for sure. All right, so I don't know why that's. All right, so this is that. That's that. So let's go. Go back before that extrusion and create a sketch, which is this face, and project that surface. Okay, finish sketch. And then when we go forward, this is going to be based off of that sketch. Okay, look at that, fills that right up there. So we now want to, oh, let's go way, 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 way back here. I'm going to create this sketch is on here because that kind of includes my bosses for the motor to sit on. So I'm going to just simply project that surface into this sketch, finish sketch, and that's going to be motor cavity rear. All right, fast forward a little bit, and to there. All right, so I am going to now extrude this sketch that I just created, that I just did in when I went back in time in history here. And basically, I'm going to cut that all the way forward. And there. But I'm also going to go back to this one here and cut this guy. Good old sketch 12 again, huh? All right, and we're going to pull that forward to, no, we're going to extrude from good old sketch 12 this one, and we're going to go to an object, back to that surface. Okay. Oh, we need to do that one two directions because we got to come forward on that too. So from profile plane, two-sided, and pull this way. All right. There. Now our motor sits back in there. We've got the solid cavity. Realistically, we're going to need to extend because the tool has got to have a straight path down this bore. It's this can't be here. So complications, they sneak up. All right, so then to make the machining aspect easy, it's a constant juggle between what I want and what the machines are capable of, and the technology that I possess, and the tools and the knowledge I possess. You know, there's ways to do things that I'm unaware of still, but I'll figure it out. So, all right. So I try not to box myself into the corner too much, and just want to pull this forward, see how much of that would need to be cut off. Okay, so now you can get an idea what I'm saying. In order to cut this bore, I've got to have a straight shot access at it. So that's not the end of the world. We can probably still work with that. Let's turn that cover back on, because remember, I was thinking about coming down in that area anyways. So I'm going to keep moving in that direction. Why not? Because I can. Okay, so new sketch plane on the back end side, and I would like to project this curve onto that plane as well as that. Sure, we'll get all of it in there. Okay, and then we'll extrude this and this forward. All right, now what I did there is I not only accommodated for this bore going down here for the RCA jack, I've also created cavity down here to allow for that rotary swing of the needle bar. Awesome. All right, so I will need to build something back into the front here if I decide to use a fastener to hold that front case on down there. But you know, we don't know yet. We do not know where we're going. It's a never-ending, changing plan, just like life in general. So, in an effort to reduce harsh edges, I'm going to, like I said, I try not to do it till towards the end, but I just want to smooth these out with, say, a 3mm radius. I don't like too many sharp edges. And all right, so let's put the rest of our stuff back in, and let's see. There's our motor, RCA cam, bearing, pusher mount. Let's not do the mount cover. And all right, that looks kind of cool. Again, we don't have our fillets all back in there yet, but all right, let's see what happens if we just click fast forward to the future. Some fillets work, some fillets do not, some were deleted. Not a big deal. I can reconstruct all of that. So by me changing certain features, it eliminates data that other features relied on, so those just get deleted. Not a big deal. So I would like to add these back a little. Or wait a minute, let's turn this on and let's fast forward to the end here. All right, so that's the only one that's that cover. Do not know what that one was. Hmm. All right. What else can we focus on here? Thinking this cone may be a little too steep. Possibly. I think I'm going to need a little thicker down here because I think I just did that in around 10 millimeters, which is not insanely small, but it's also not huge. So what is this? Let's close. All right. A little more to play with there. What I would typically do here is let's look at what happens on this plane if we just are going to get a center. Yeah. All right. So let's do 8 millimeters. Oh, that's thin. That is thin. So we want to go back to no, that was the one that shaved the back off. There we go. Before the revolve. All right. Let's do this one 3.5. Push that out a little farther. There we go. Now we can take this, extrude this backwards in a cut fashion. We only want to cut the motor housing, correct, and okay. That gives us a bore for the needle bar to go down in through the top. Well, all right. I need to create because that bore won't work because I'm going to ultimately have only about an 1/8 inch hole coming up the bottom for the needle bar, so there's not too much excessive slop in there. Although, let me think about that because I've got to compensate for the tube diameter. And remember, I'm building a tattoo machine here, not a pen. So the tube itself is going to reduce the interior diameter so that the plunger bar is compensated with. So I can make this bigger. In fact, it can go as large as 8 millimeters, which is the general outside diameter of most tubes, which is exactly what I did there. Okay, so now I want to create a tangent plane on here. And I think it did. It guesstimated the front face just like I wanted. So awesome. Okay, so now I need to what I want to do is I want to draw a sketch on this plane, and I want to project that hole that I had just created. Okay, so now see, that's a funny shape, but that didn't work the way I wanted. Imagine that. Okay, so I did that wrong. Let's Control Z, and Control Z. What I want to do is have a perpendicular plane, I believe, one that is going to access that whole. All right, so construct plane at angle. Align. Cancel. You're allowed. There's so many different ways to do this. So, tangent to face at point, plane along path, plane through 3 points, through 2 edges, midplane. What is the best way for me to? Through 2 edges. Let's do that. Let's do construct a plane through 2 edges. And I want to construct a plane through, it's going to have to be straight edges. It's not going to be, it's hard when you really know exactly what you want to do, but you may not understand the tools you're given sometimes to get exactly where you want to go. I want this to be on the machine as it's facing me right now and be able to contour out this path. So I pretty much want to create, I don't think that'll work. Well, let me look at right from the top. See, I can't go straight in from the top because that's not going to work. So maybe a 45. Let me measure angle between this plane and where's my, oh man, and this plane. What is that angle? What is it telling me? 143, blah, 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 blah. Which subtracted from 180, 35 degrees, close enough for government work, really. So I want to create a plane at an angle from that edge, and I want it to be, I want to say 30, Well, I kind of want it to be, yeah, 35 degrees. Okay, I'm on board with that. Now I want to draw my sketch on this plane, and I would like to project that hole onto that plane. Okay, and finish sketch, and let's see what we got here. I believe we have a winner. All right, let's extrude this hole. I pull this all the way back through. Yes, that is what I wanted. Now, given I will deal with this in a minute, but I did. I've created a thin tube wall down the front that allows, basically what this is going to do is it's going to, well, let's use our sectional analysis here. Okay, so now the bar can come down, bend at an angle, get back to the center of this, and drop out where we want it. Cool. The rest of this is a non-issue. I can machine that out as easy as pie. So I believe I can create a point there, and yeah. What I would do, all right, I'm just going to create an oval sketch up here, loft it up, easy enough to remove. Good deal, good deal. All right, so let's see. Let's create a plane, because that's apparently what we do a lot of. Tangent plane to that bore. And that's going to be tangent to that bore. And then we are going to do the same exact thing on the other side. Turn off our analysis. We are going to construct another tangent plane to there. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't know if you can understand what I did there, but I created this two planes. Between those two planes is the material I want to remove. So I will, let's see. Now I've got to create the geometry to do that. Shouldn't be that hard. But occasionally you draw a blank, you know, you just, all right, so if let's see, I can come all the way up to my main plane here, right? And I can go all the way down to my bottom plane here. Easy, I got this. All right. RCA, cam, blah, 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 push your bar, motor covers off, and motor's off. All right, everything's off but what we want here. So I'm going to now create a sketch on this flat plane halfway up the motor, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to project that bore and that off of there, okay? Now for fun, I'm going to quickly hide, well, I can't hide that. I can hide the bodies, and I want to now draw a line. I'm going to draw it weird to start. Put it here, here, and you know what? We'll just mirror that in a second. So we're going to make this line tangent to this. Delete, delete. All right, line from that point to along here. Now we'll make this tangent to, all right, need the widest point. So for the sake of government work, I can slide down here, zoomed in like super fancy, and I can see right around this general area up here. And again, we're looking at super tiny little fractions right there. Oops, I did not mean to finish the sketch, but I did. No problem. Get right back into it. Okay, we are going to, all right, I'm going to select the line I just did. I want to mirror that line. I want to mirror that over there. Okay, then I would now finish the sketch. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same exact thing. Let's turn our body back on so we can see where we're at. I'm going to create another, oops, wrong button. All right, we're going to create another sketch on this face, and all I'm going to do is project that 8mm diameter hole that I created earlier. Finish. And now, if my brain is half as good as I think it is, I think I can go to the loft. I can change this to a cut. I can go from, oops, kill, die. What are we working on here? Let's hide the bodies. Why are you not allowing me to select that part of the sketch? What is wrong with this? What is not closed that makes that not selectable? Cancel. Let's go into this sketch, turn my bodies off, and highlight, 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 no highlight. What are we missing? We have an open chain somewhere. I think I see something here. No. Right, let me turn, I got to turn a bunch of this construction off because of these extra planes I made are kind of getting in my way visually. And let's turn the origin off. All right, I can highlight, highlight, highlight. Can't highlight, so this is, well, let's see what we can. All right, I'm going to do something I don't normally like to do, and that is going to be, I'm going to break the links, which I had that all connected to the other diagram, but can't figure out Well, I suppose I can just do that. Now I can, oops, 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 oops. What sketch are you on, Mark? All right, let's go back to that. Let's back up in time. Find out what is wrong with this sketch. Trim. Can I trim? 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 No, I can only trim the ones I created, not the ones projected. Which I kind of figured, but wait, all these dots are black and this one is not. So let me black dot, right? Not gonna work now. Zoom in. And I'm going to make, just for symmetry, I'm bothered that I can't select that. I can select this section, this section, this section, but not this section. So it's kind of driving me nuts. I know that's connected. I know that's connected. I know that's connected. I know that's connected. This has got to be the only possible weakness here. So what is going on here? So now I remember there's a feature to find these little microscopic mislinks and connect them automatically. And I know that's what's going on right here. There's something weird. Oh, you know what I can do? Pay attention, Mark. Get back in my sketch. I believe I should be able to just go in and extend. All right. Oh, wait, we got two lines here. That's what's going on. That's the one I think we want to keep. Let's zoom in. What happens if we delete that? Grr. What is this? Sorry for the boredom, guys. This one kind of has me stumped. I'm literally not understanding what I'm being presented with, and it's probably only because it's an effort to kind of teach. I mean, if nothing else, I should be able to just create a circle here to there. Finish sketch. All right. Read the instructions. Compute failed. Yeah, curves do not precisely overlap. Okay, so I kind of got that. Select all break link. There we go. So at this point, now I'm not getting any of them. All right, so let's go back to this. Okay. Select all, break link. I don't know why so many points are generated there, but delete. Delete. Okay. Now let's create the circle from here to there. Hey, okay. That was way too much work. I don't know what I did to get off the track, but it's done now. Okay, so let's turn our bodies back on, blah, blah, blah. We have that. Let's skip forward so we have the, And let's just reproject this one more time. And okay, finish sketch. And what I want to do now, this is a pretty cool tool, is we're going to loft this, 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 and this whole geometry here. Oops, excuse me. I want to make sure I have them selected correctly. Kind of fat fingered in there. Okay, I want to loft cut to there. And why in the world that is fishing out? Ah! Maybe I need that beer or that scotch to do this properly. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to go to that. Wow, that's twisting. Hmm. For some reason, and I don't know why, what is this? Where's that thing coming from? All right, let's go back to this sketch. I'm sure you all are probably already went and got a beer by now. All right, so let's see here. Body's off. This is my sketch. I want to trim. Let's just do this. I have so many. That's what it is. There's just too many duplicates in there. All right, so all right, let's try it again. Bodies. Loft. We want to loft that to that. There it is. Holy cow. And not a new body. We want to cut. And okay. Ah. All right, no, there's another way to skin this animal. And loft. That's a that. That is the shape we want. We're going to go new body. All right. Loft. This to this. All right. Self-intersecting or bad geometry. New component. No. It tells me I'm wrong. Okay. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm going to create a new component. Let's call this loft cavity. And we are going to open motor housing, close the bodies. We're going to take sketches 18 and 19, and we're going to drag them down to loft cavity because, well, that's where we want them. Now we're working in loft cavity, and I'm going to turn on those two sketches, and I'm going to create a loft. No, that's not what. Okay. New body. This is driving me nuts. I'm fairly sure it's duplicate lines in one of these sketches. So I'm going to go with this one first because why not? I'm going to delete all the lines. I know it's an 8mm hole. Oops. All right, so I am going to create a point in the center. Then I'm going to select outer circle, and this is where the problem they're going to show is right here. Watch. All right, so 8mm. Now that's going to not show up as one, or as two segments, but one. And I have a funny feeling. Oh, where did sketch 18 go? Ah, all right. Just for giggles, I'm going to drag these back up to the motor housing. I'm going to try this one more time in motor housing because that might have been the issue right there. So loft this to this. Nope. All right. Then I'm going to cheat. 18, 19, drag down to loft cavity. Okay. Working in loft cavity now. Create loft from 18 and 19. Where is that coming from? All right, I'm going to simplify. Good old turn 19 off. Let's look at 18 closely. And how many times can I delete this line? Right there. Ha! You son of a booger. See, these two don't actually meet. And let's see if it does it on the other side. Nope. All right, guys, this is bad. I mean, I probably look like a total idiot here right now, but this is kind of the frustration that you have with these things. I don't. All right, I'm gonna Control Z back a few just because sometimes that's the best way to approach it. All right, we trimmed off a little extra sliver over there. And I'm zooming into, like, honestly, this stuff's like microscopic. So, and that one little tiny additional line could very well have been the whole problem the whole time. Which I probably I obviously created because nobody else is doing this. So, all right, so we're in loft cavity. We've got our two sketches showing. We are going to loft from this to this. And look at that random, crazy, funky Cole Medina shape. I know it's not the bottom one because that is that's just a solid circle. There's nothing physically wrong with that. It's that dot right there. I might call it a night, guys, because it's getting late. I'm gonna go home soon, and I'm a tad frustrated. So it just goes to show, it's work. It's not, hey, I'm gonna magically create a new product today. It's probably something silly I'm missing. I may have to just wipe out these last few sketches, go back, start from scratch where I'm focusing on what I'm doing rather than trying to walk you guys along with me and see if I can't get this resolved. So I think I'm going to call it a night here. So thanks for watching, and we'll get back to it. We'll get this done. All right. Have a good one. I lied. I didn't give up. I just can't do that. I will sit here late and bang my head against the computer if I have to. But I did finally figure it out. I was working with bad geometry just like it was telling me the whole time, but I just didn't know where to start. So you can kind of see now that well, let me back up here. This is where we were at when I left you. We had the two holes, but we had these, I'll call them hooks coming in on the sides there. So I went back and I recreated the two sketches. Okay, the bottom one's just a circle. The top one, I went back and I reprojected the first borehole, the second borehole, then I ran a couple tangent lines across it, and then the next step was just to loft it. That was it. It went exactly how I thought it was going to go the first time, once I was able to stop and really focus on it. So, yeah, so I've done that. I'm going to play with the geometry just a little bit because I kind of have this little protrusion, which I don't really understand why, because it really shouldn't be there. It should be 8 millimeters from here to here, and for some reason it's 6.9569, so 7 millimeters. It's not lofting the way I think it should loft, but I think that's in the loft settings. I should be able to tweak that pretty quickly. Let's mess around with that for a second. Maybe. Nope. Control Z. Center line. We're only cutting the motor housing. Close. It's not a whole lot of options in there. I guess I can mess with the geometry a little bit. But I did figure it out literally within 10-15 minutes after I told you all I was signing off and done with it. I can't give up like that. So I got that done. So anyways, thanks for watching. You guys are real troopers for hanging in while you watch me beat my head off the keyboard here. But yeah, we'll get this done. Probably 2 or 3 more videos, though, to be honest with you. Or it looks like we're right getting near the end. Not even close, because there's a lot of little details that really need your attention in the end. So, but overall, this is moving along quite quickly, to be honest with you. So who knows? Maybe we can build this. Thanks for watching. All right, it looks like we got the internal cavity part all situated. Well, maybe not. You'll have to wait till the next one to see if it stays like this or if it changes. But hey, that's half the fun of the ride, right? Thanks for watching.